Well, I'm gonna write this out because I'm gonna tell my story. My loud neighbors, but but yeah, I guess I'll give you my insight on depression and anxiety and suicidal ideation because I like to be open with this stuff. I always have been, and I plan to always will be pretty open about this kind of stuff because it could be a big issue for someone, and if they don't know how to deal with it, it could kill them. Shit, it almost did me, and I've been going to programs for about 6 months now. I guess I'll start from the actual beginning. First time I felt depressed was about 8th grade. I had concussion after concussion and ended my football season that year. And it was the last year I played with that program, so it was rough. It was the first time I really felt useless in my life. And it was hard. It was hard. There's going to be a lot of background noise. I should probably do this at night, but fuck it. But also gonna be smoking squares during all this because this isn't a fun topic, and I don't like talking. I don't not like talking about it, but it's rough. It's hard. But yeah, so during that time, my grade slipped. I pretty much felt like a nobody, and how I was treated in middle school made me actually feel like I was a nobody. Because I got bullied. Nothing, not like the worst kind, but like I got bullied. I got bullied pretty much through all of it because I was different. What I mean different is my ADHD kind of chose the life I was gonna live. But yeah, so I dealt with that. I got my therapist. I've been seeing the same therapist since then, by the way. Great lady. She's like a second mom. She's one of the best, probably one of the best people I've met in my life. But yeah. But then pretty much through then I was alright. I got over it. I played high school football. That was a great thing in my life. Got picked on still, but wasn't crazy bad. And then I guess towards the summer between junior and senior year, I busted my knee again. I wasn't starting on the team anyways. Whatever it was, I was not that good. And also our coaches kind of sucked, but we don't talk about that. But it made me feel sad again because people were doing stuff without me, and I felt lonely again. And suicidal was the wrong word. I didn't have suicidal ideation until I went to the hospital the first time. But yeah, so that's when I first started feeling it. I felt really sad. My mental health was probably the worst at the time. And then about 6 or 7 months ish after that, I had a job. Met some people through it. Oh god, that's a B. What the fuck? But met some really toxic people out of it that I started hanging out with, and was making toxic relationships left and right. It was normal. Well, normal for me. You'll meet toxic people in your life, and yeah, you'll probably have some toxic friendships or even relationships, but yeah. Jesus Christ. Definitely should not have done this in the middle of the day, but I got nothing going on right now, and I felt like venting. But yeah, met a girl while working at Rock and Jump. Um, I've never had a relationship. I was pretty like, kind of like. Well, I mean, okay. Let's be straight. I was a virgin. Didn't do much. Never really clicked with any girls. I would try to flirt, but just how I just wasn't. Appealing is the wrong word. I just didn't know how to like take the next step, or I didn't meet the right girl. We had a kind of relationship. We just talked really, but how she ended things really fucked me up. and because of that, started having a little bit of suicidal ideation with people. If people don't know what that means, it's just thoughts of killing myself and ending it all because I just felt worthless to them. I just felt worthless to anybody. I felt alone all the time. The only people I was hanging out with were toxic fucking people. For example, wouldn't be doing these if I did not meet some of the people I met. And that's an excuse, but I started doing that. So because of that, had a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of suicidal thoughts. Fucking, give me a second, I'm closing the door. I'm in my garage, and little kids are yelling. There's a But yeah, so started having really bad sleepless nights. All I could think about were the thoughts. And how I always had friendships, I would always get drawn towards toxic people. And don't take this the wrong way. There's a bunch of different types of toxic. There's toxic where they just treat you like shit. And then there's toxic where you kind of almost take their problems as your own, which most of my relationships, if not all, were that. I had a very close friend, and she was going through a rough time. And because of that, I took on that shit. I took on her problems like they were my own, and they weren't. And that wasn't really fair to me, I guess, because they're not my problems. And I acted like they were. So I never really gave a shit about my mental health, ever. So because of that, I started having really bad suicide ideations, and that's what landed me in the hospital the first time. I was an inpatient because I was suicidal. I had a plan. I didn't act on it. Didn't even do any steps towards it. I just had a plan, and I was thinking about it a lot. So throughout the first time, I didn't like it. I pretty much said what I had to say to get out, and I met friends through it. I met a lot of friends. Made my first actual relationship, which at the time was a great relationship. I loved her to death. She was an amazing girl, and I have no bad blood towards her. I hope she has the best life she could ever have, and I hope one day me and her can be friends. It's just right now, we're just not good for each other. So that's where we're at right now. But back to that, I made friends. And what they say in those places is you don't want to make close relationships. You don't. And there's an extent to that. You can make friends. Don't get me wrong. One of my best friends is from there, and another one of my best friends I met through there. But it's just you got to realize when you're meeting someone through there, they're gonna have problems. Just like people who make friendships with me, I have a lot of baggage, and I have a lot of issues in my life, and it sucks. It sucks that I have these, and I'm probably gonna have to deal with these probably for the rest of my adult life, which I'm ready to. I'm ready to move on from everything and make myself a better person. Not just just for me. I have never worded it like that, but I'm doing this for me. I want to get better. I want to be happy, and I never want to feel like how I felt again. I never want to even think about doing that again. Sorry for the rambling, but let's get back to it. The people I met. The only person's name I'm going to use in this video is Nick Spade. We only knew each other for a short few months, but he became one of my best friends. And he was a really close guy. He was one of the closest guy friends I've ever made. Fucking crazy kid. Addicted to Rick and Morty. His music taste was fucking flame. It was old. He hates new shit. He does not like it. But that's what kind of made me draw for this kid. I liked him. First time I met him, I hated him because he's just like me. He wants to make people laugh just like I do, and that pissed me off at the time because I liked being the funny guy in the room. I like making people smile. I've always been like that, and I'm always gonna be like that because knowing that even if I'm sad, I can make someone's day a little bit brighter. That's all I ever want. And still to this, I'm probably still always gonna be like that. If you've ever been like a close friend of mine, you know that about me. I will go out of my way for that. But so I did the day program there when I was an adolescent, And everything seemed really good at the time. I had a girlfriend that was going really cool. I had friends. People at school seemed supportive. People I didn't even talk to started like talking to me, and I was like, "This is cool. This is what it's like to always have your phone buzzing," and it felt good. It felt really good for a while. And then graduation came, and summer went how expected. Spent probably too much time with that girl, but at the time I didn't care. I loved being around her. She made me happy, and didn't spend time with the people that were leaving my life as I was going on a new chapter. Um, Started college. Friends are gone. All my close friends I made throughout high school that I hung out with, all moved away, and all started doing their own lives. And I was happy for them, still happy for them. To the people that care about me and are close, I am so fucking happy for all of you. Even the people I barely talk to, like just seeing the stories about like you guys getting into college for free, that's insane to me. That seems like the craziest shit ever to me. And this is gonna be a long video. I don't know. It's probably gonna be like I don't know. I'm just gonna keep talking until I feel like I'm ready to stop. And I'll probably just post this on YouTube and put the link on my Twitter. But depression sucks. It really sucks. It's a hard mental illness because it's not one that you can see. Yeah, you can see like signs of it. Fuck, I'm sorry. I just had dinner, so you know, indigestion. but but because of that, people think depression goes away, and once you're feeling better, it never comes back, which is 100% false. It will most of the time always come back. It's a big deal. It's always gonna be there. So back to my story. My friend Nick, great guy, hung out with him. He was going through he was depressed, mentally depressed. And then one Friday afternoon, he texted one of our friends saying he was gonna end his life. That friend hit me up, asked for his information. We got there. I decided not to go right to his house, and I decided to wait there to just see if anything would have changed. Because the cops were right there, I didn't think there was much more I could do at the time. But after a couple hours not hearing anything, me and another friend went to his house and saw police and an ambulance and a fire truck and his garage door wide open, and my heart's never sank that fast in my life. But we go to talk to police, and they didn't know his condition at the time. He was at hospital. Hospital was probably 5 minutes away, but that car ride felt like 3 hours because of just the circumstance. So we get to the hospital. She drops me off, and I'm running to the emergency room. I catch his dad outside before I get in there, and he says Nick is dead. He killed himself by starting the car in his garage. And not till just recently, I learned I need to forgive myself for that. That what happened there was Nick's decision. What I would have done, what I could have done, wouldn't have changed his decision. So that held with me for a very long time. It was the main reason why I ended up back in a hospital and why I'm kind of I'm at this point right now with my life while I'm just getting out of inpatient for the second time. But let's keep going. I still have this relationship going. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but it was a toxic relationship. She would have issues that I would take on that weren't not my responsibility, but they weren't my problems. There was nothing I could do to fix those problems. And then there would be times where my problems didn't, like, I'd make her feel my problems, which you don't do. You can't do that in a relationship. yes, you can be there for someone.